Hi everybody, welcome back to Rebecca's Kitchen. I'm Rebecca and I am going to cook country pork spare ribs. I buy the ones with the bones because they're better. And they have the bones on them, they're thick cut, they're delicious. And the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to cook them in the Instapot. I forgot to tell you that. I got this pot. It is a 6-quart and it is a Duo Plus. And the reason why I got it is because it has on it, if you look real close, has an egg button. And that might be dark, but it has an egg button. It also has a yogurt button. And one day here shortly, I'm going to show you how to make hard-boiled eggs. And then I'll clean the pot and we'll go right into yogurt. It makes the best yogurt around. I do all of my ribs in here. It's quick. You can put them in a crock pot and it's just as, takes longer, takes all day. My husband goes to work almost at second shift. And he has to be eaten and ready to go by 5 o'clock, 5:30. And I don't have time. So I bought this so we can have dinner fast and have the same kind of dinner. Because we eat between 3 and 4 o'clock. So that way I'm not up in the early morning, which I'm not an early morning person. And I am not running around with my head cut off trying to get dinner. So I make mine with a rub. So you're going to need, and I love this sliding measuring spoon because I can just do this, and there's about 4 tablespoons. I double my recipe because my ribs are a little big of brown sugar. And to that, we're going to need 2 teaspoons of all of the following stuff. We're going to need onion powder, we're going to need paprika. Sorry, I pulled something else out of the cupboard. Smoky paprika would be good also. That would give these a really good smoky taste. We'll have to try that one time.
What's that?
This is garlic powder. Cumin. And this is another good spice that I like to use when I'm doing pork. And another thing that you can do, of course I'm going to add salt and pepper right now. And I'm going to mix this around with my fingers because it's easier. Now, I want to save time on this thing coming up to heat. And to save time, I start out sauteing. So I'm going to add a cup of water. Means it's ready. The saute is going to come on. It comes up pretty hot. And that's what I like. And then I'm going to add about a half a cup. That's good. Of apple cider vinegar. Just adds a flavor to it. And then what I do is I'm going to add about I do not use bouillon cubes. I use Better Than bouillon. Makes the most wonderful gravy, and I can just add a small amount to my water and I'll stir it up. I make my gravy with it. I make all of my beef broth. I make chicken broth because I have the chicken. I have the vegetable one. I adore it. And I'm just going to mix this all together in here. and it'll start boiling that water. This is my trivet. I'm going to put that in there, and as you can see, it just sits in there. And that's what I have in there. And it's just going to sit in there. Now I'm going to sit and I'm going to rub all of these down with this rub. And I'm just going to massage it all into the pork. I'm going to try to get them all done and ready to go. And I press, and I'm going to rub and press some more. And if you want this a little bit of spicy, you can add cayenne pepper, red pepper flakes. You can add whatever you want. And I turn this over. I have wax paper down, and I just love on these ribs. I'm going to let them set for a few minutes once I get all the rub on them. I pick it up off with my wax paper and make sure it's all in there. Now you're probably wondering, oh, well, where's the barbecue sauce? Where's the barbecue sauce? Well, that barbecue sauce will come last, right when they come out, and I'll show you what I do. And it's the easiest way I have found to make these wonderful ribs, and they're not slow cooked, but they're for the Instapot. And if you have one of these, you know what I mean when it comes down to making ribs. Your meat are so much better. Now, as I said, this is a 6-quart, and it's for him and I. I know people who have several of them. And as you can see, it's already starting to steam. Now, I'm going to lay these in this pot, and I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to take the rest of this and make sure it's on there. You always cook with 1 to 1.5 cups of water. These are safe. I don't worry about this. My mother used to cook with a regular on the stove pressure cooker, and it used to sit over there and go crazy. So I learned to cook on that. These are simple. You got to make sure your rim is in, and your this is where the steam lets out, and so you got to make sure that's in. So it's ready to go, and you put it in place. Now you're going to come up here, and I'm going to bring this over so you can see. I'm going to pressure cook. Let me cancel everything. Pressure cook 45 minutes. It's going to take about anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, depending. It's on high, and it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes to come up to pressure. So now it's on. Now it's going to come up to pressure. Sometimes it only takes 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. If you put something cold in there and expect it to come up to pressure, it's going to take a little longer. I love this thing. If I want, I make my spaghetti sauce in it. I make all my soups, my chilies, my potato soup. I make everything in this, a lot of stuff in this. The goulash that I made a few days ago, you can put that in here and it doesn't take as long. I like mine on the stove. And it's ready to go, and in 5 to 10 minutes it's going to come on, and it's going to be pressurized, and then it's going to cook. I put in 45 minutes, and it's going to cook for 45 minutes. So when you come back, 45 minutes will be up. We'll let the steam out. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll take them out, and we're going to put them on a foiled pan, and we're going to put them in the broiler. With the sauce on them. And you're going to see what happens. Okay, the timer's gone off, and I'm going to tell you, it wasn't even 5 minutes this thing came up to pressure. It was up to pressure before you know it. Now it's at 0, so I always pull mine out a little bit and turn it, because I'm going to push this down. This is called quick release. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just losing the pressure. So I can open up the lid. It's very hot. It will burn you. Believe me, I've been burned by it once. And yes, it does kind of make a mess on your cupboard sometimes. You have these little things you can buy that you can put on the top of it that vents it out another way. I just haven't bought one. And as you can tell, it's coming down in pressure, and you're going to hear it. You're going to see this little silver thing, and it's going to drop down. And that's how I know it's out, the pressure has been released in it. And you can smell what I have in there. You can smell the apple cider vinegar that's in there, along with the spices and everything. And as soon as that pin drops, and you'll hear it and you'll see it. I can hear the liquid in there boiling. And see, it went down. Once it's down, you can turn it, and there are your ribs inside. And they are done and falling apart. Look at this. This is what this looks like. I'm putting them on a foiled pan, as you can see, because now that they're done, and even one of them lost its bone, so you know that those babies are tender, and you know they're going to be good. Now, I take barbecue sauce, and I have my oven on. I turn my oven on to broil. And as I said, I use the ribs that have the bones on them, because that's where the flavor is. The flavor in these bones. And that's why I use mine with bones. And I just put this on. As much as you want, as little as you want, and it's just regular sweet brown sugar barbecue sauce. Use what you like. You can use, I hear a lot of people use Sweet Ray's barbecue sauce. And what I'm going to do now, my oven's hot. Sadie, move. As I'm going to, oops, I should have checked my oven before I turned it on broil. I'm going to put that in just to set that barbecue sauce in place. Take about 10-15 minutes. Okay, I just checked them and they're ready to come out. They haven't even been in there. If you use the broiler, and I did move it up, but right there is the final product. Country barbecued spare ribs, done in the Instapot, and look at that. Done to perfection. wonderful. Just falling apart. Even lost its bone, a few of them. Ugh. So good. And underneath that broiler, that brown sugar in that sauce just did it in. She's been waiting a long time, smelling them cooking. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this and join me again in my kitchen. Thanks for stopping by.